wonderful to see such a large group here and appreciating Lady Kaya and the team here. It's such an inspiring experience to have you here. I want to talk about truth. And one of the ways that we know, remember that line in the Gospels when Jesus is on trial and Pontius Pilate says, well, what is truth? It's a question that we actually ask a lot, especially in a world of fake news. What is truth? How do we tell? And there are two ways, I think, that we tell. One is that it resonates inside of us. And the other is that we find it in more than one place. So I titled this talk, The Big Bang, Honeybees, and Two Sisters. So here are some very different sources, and they're all saying the same thing. And the truth that they're saying is we are inextricably connected. We are one. And we cannot even conceive of ourselves outside of one another. I picked up a book recently by Daniel Siegel, who has written other books you're probably familiar with, but it was talking about intraconnection. And he used the term MWE, M-W-E. It's me and we, and you cannot separate them. So there's a new word for us, a MWE. Sounds like something a herd of cows would be telling us, MWE. Maybe we should add that to our howling in the beginning. That's what is truth. We are not here all by our lonesomes trying to make our way. We are part of a whole, always. And we come together in community, whether you're watching online or you're here in the room, we come together to remember that we are not alone, to feel the energy of one another, to remember that, oh yeah, we are a MWE. That's what's true. So it really began with the Big Bang. Before the Big Bang, there was darkness. There was just isness. There was never a time when there was not isness. But there was no physical manifestation of that. I want to share this passage this is a wonderful book, Radical Amazement. Contemplative lessons from black holes, supernovas, and other wonders of the universe. I've really enjoyed it. But in this one passage, it talks about how light was the first creation of the universe. Because light can abandon the ethereal, timeless realm of energy and become matter. In doing so, it enters the domain of time and space. So this is a new creation story. It actually, as light enters, now we have time and space, which did not exist before that. And so in this Big Bang, light manifests and begins immediately to organize and take shape. It was like within seconds already we had, I want to make sure I say this correctly. Oh, I wrote that on a different paper. Something was already in form. It was, microscopic, but it was already happening. So light manifests and begins immediately to organize and take shape, eventually becoming the matter that forms stars and galaxies, Earth and her mountains and streams, human beings and all creation kind. Light as expression of the divine breath and spirit links mystery and matter. Mystery and matter are inextricable. So you as matter, I as matter, we as matter, are inextricable from the mystery, the holy good of all creation, of beyond creation. That's who we are, what we are. It's so easy as we face the challenges that we face in our lives to get the idea that we are not enough, we do not have enough, we cannot do enough. But that's not true. That is not truth. That is illusion. Because what is truth is that we are stardust. Everything that is the divine went into the universe with that big bang. It was the divine saying, "Woohoo, let's play." And that's who we are. That's what we are. And so when we look outside of ourselves, we see the illusion. We see challenges that we don't know, how are we going to navigate through that? It's too hard, we're too small, we don't have enough. But that's illusion. When we look inside, we see something very different. We see the truth of who we are. It's so important. And as a spiritual community, our number one purpose is to remind each other. Because the illusion is tricky, and we have all succumbed to it. And will continue succumbing to it until the day we die. It's just a matter of how much are we succumbing to it. And so when we are in spiritual community, we succumb less. We have more reminders. When you come here on a Sunday, or if you can't come on a Sunday and you watch the video later, or whatever it is, however you plug in to this that we're experiencing, you are receiving a reminder of who you are. When you participate in all these different activities that we offer as a spiritual community, you are getting reminders of who you are. And as we remember individually and as a community who we are, we radiate that to others. Whether it's the people in our families, the people that we're standing in line with at the grocery store, the people on the other side of the world, the plants and the animals. We are lightening the world because we are all connected. We are Mui. And so as each one of us grows more attentive to the light that we are, the truth of us, then that radiates out. Another metaphor for this is the honeybees and the hives. So in the honeybees and the hives, what we have are all of these seeming individuals, and yet they are functioning as one. They have one purpose. They are gathering don't ask me the science of this. They're doing something when they go to all those peach blossoms in Pat's yard there. They're gathering pollen, and they're bringing it back to the hive to make nectar for the queen. And the queen is producing thousands of eggs. The queen is the generator of life for them, but she can only do that because all of these other bees are in service to her. So what does that mean? What do we learn from that? Ask yourself, what is my queen bee? And it's not a person. It's an aspect of ourselves. It's the soul, the place where spirit and I are inextricable, where I know the truth of who I am. That's the queen of my hive. And the queen of our hive as a community is not a person. It's the spirit of who we are, of Arma we. It's the light that we came here to be. It's our mission to stand together in unity, deep wisdom and loving kindness, creating a global ecosystem that is that. We look at the news and we see one picture of the world, and we say, that's not the world we're creating. Our world, our global world, is an ecosystem of unity, deep wisdom, and loving kindness. That's what our hive is all about. And we work together to make that truth. Each one of us has our role. In the hive, there are no spare parts. There are no bees that are sitting around just lounging in the sun. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No, they're out there buzzing around. And that's important. Each one of us has something to contribute. And it comes from within. We have to be, whatever the contribution, has to be in service to the queen, the soul of us. And when that resonates, then it's easy and it's sweet like honey. And the third analogy is this tale of two sisters. This one comes from the Bible. It's the story of Martha and Mary. If you don't know that story, Jesus comes and visits his friend Lazarus. And Jesus is an itinerant rabbi who has a lot of followers around him. He's very charismatic. And he comes to rest and get a meal at his friend Lazarus's house. And Lazarus has two sisters. One is named Martha and one is named Mary. And Martha is running around and she is prepping the whole place. She's been cleaning, getting the house ready for company. She's got all the food. She's polished the silverware, whatever it is she did there. And, she's working hard. Mary, on the other hand, is like, oh, Jesus, I love you. I love what you have to say. I'm totally into your message. I'm just going to sit here at your feet and listen. And Martha's like, what is going on here? Get up off your butt and help me. There's a lot of work to do. And Mary's just like, no, I just love listening to Jesus. And Martha's getting really upset. And so she pulls Jesus into the argument and wants him to tell her to get off her butt and help. And so Jesus, who is actually not known for being politically correct, says, Mary has chosen the better part. So where does that leave us? Those of us who work hard and try to get things done and resent the heck out of people who are not helping. We didn't get justified. What? But what would happen if all we did was marry through life? Just sitting and, what would get done? I mean, is it unimportant, all those things that we've been doing? I think that saying Mary has chosen the better part is probably one of those mistranslations of the Aramaic, of which there are many. And I think what it means is Jesus was talking about order, priority, that Mary's putting the divine message first was the right order. Running around doing everything without first being in alignment with our truth is when we get in trouble. Has anybody here ever done that? I mean, there's so much to do. I don't have time to meditate. We've said that, right? We've done that. I know I sure have. Or we're just so focused on everything there is to do. I mean, there's always going to be a gazillion things more on our lists than we can get to in a single day. And then the next day we're going to beat ourselves up because we didn't get to all those gazillion things, because that's what we should be doing, because we've constructed this idea of ourselves that is so megalomaniac in its scope. I'm getting an amen in the back. But what Jesus is saying is, no. Do your Mary thing first. And that doesn't mean add an hour of meditation to the gazillion things list. It means turn within, however you do that. Meditation is a technique. It's not the only way. But if we don't stay connected to the truth of us, the queen of our hive, our doing becomes senseless. If we remember that we are stardust, we are the divine who has exploded into matter. That's what we are, with resources that are unlimited. That remembering is what allows us to do what needs to be done. We have this amazing spiritual community. And I want to invite all of you to step into it. Step into it fully. Put your energy in, your pollen that you have gathered from the very beginning of time-space. Because when we add your special sauce to the rest of ours, the mui becomes irresistible. Think about the first time that you walked in the store. For some of you, it's today. So I hope we're doing okay. But think about the first time you walked in the store, what you received, how it has nourished you. And then ask yourself, would you want that for others? Because that isn't something that I give. That's something we give. And it takes every one of us. So just erase that thought that, I have nothing to give. Who would want what I have? Kick that one to the curb. And say, what is in alignment with the truth of me that would add so much to the Maui? And so it might be something that you volunteer to do, like we need more people to help with our children. Look at all these beautiful children that have started coming. But we can't keep asking the same people all the time to go and do that. What if you helped? Come and see me if you want to do that. What if you sat in the nursery and held babies and played with little toddlers who want to have a grocery store, and all you have to do is buy the groceries? And you don't even have to pay real money. And they'll be so happy. What if you get to do something like that, even once a month? What if you get to stand up in front of as people come in and say hi and really project that energy of welcoming? What if you get to release some of the garbage that you've been carrying by cleaning this space, making this sacred for others? And because there's no separation in the Maui, as you do for others, you do for me. That's a sacred truth. Those are just possibilities. What if you step out of lack and you say, I'm the Big Bang here. This is what that made. How can I be lacking? And you give of your money more fully, saying, there can't be emptiness. The universe abhors a vacuum. If I give out, it comes in. It's universal spiritual law. And we get stuck on, but how's that going to happen? I don't have enough in my paycheck, or whatever the story is. We get stuck on those details instead of saying, whoa, look at who I am. It's always flowing. It's spiritual law. The only time it's not flowing is when I plug it. And I say, no, I don't have enough. And so, all right, that's your truth then. It's not truth, though. It's just what you're claiming. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we remembered that every day? If our actions and our thoughts lined up? If we kept our priorities straight? And in so doing, we created this thriving hive where everybody was so prosperous, so filled with joy, so on purpose, that we infected everybody who walked through the doors, that we radiated out beyond. So when new people show up in the neighborhood and come in the door, they're like, whoa, I'll have what they're having. What if we could do that? Well, the truth is we can, because that's who we are. We are stardust. We are divine, twinkles, all the elements, spiritual and material, that happened in that Big Bang are sitting in this room right now. And that's what we need to remember.